All right, Shalom Akim. I like to say Kal Halayim, Wahawadla, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash, double honors the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well. Peace and salutations, blessings to the Akim around the world that pushes you to the four corners of the earth.
Okay, ever heard of this company called Mundi Pharma? Well, they are the international affiliate of Purdue Pharma, the maker of the blockbuster opioid OxyContin that's been widely blamed for unleashing the American overdose epidemic. Now, it appears Mundi Pharma is ready to cash in on a cure and heal the very ailment that was created by Purdue. RT's Farron Fronzak is here and to break it all down for us. Farron, what more can you tell us about this company?
Yes, Manila, one doctor put it this way. Purdue Pharma and its owners, the Sackler family, are in the business of selling medicine that causes addiction and overdoses. And now they're in the business of selling medicine that treats addiction and overdoses. Pretty clever, isn't it? Well, as Purdue Pharma is dealing with a mountain of litigations and public protests here in the U.S., its international affiliate, Mundi Pharma, has expanded abroad using some of the same tactics to sell the addictive opioids and its cure from Europe to Australia, and it's working hard to be number one in the market for the opioid overdose treatment. Now, Mundi Pharma's antidote, a nasal spray called Nioxoid, has been approved in New Zealand, Europe, and Australia. Now, Australia has failed to learn the lessons here in the U.S. and is facing skyrocketing rates.
No, the concept of it is that it have a particular owner that have two businesses, right? First, they open one that actually making the corrupt pharmaceuticals to make people sick and get them all kind of ailments, and then they open another business to actually fix the same problems that their first product was causing from the other branch. You understand? That's like a good example of what they call thesis and antithesis. You understand? It's like, oh yeah, the Democrats and the Republicans. That's exactly what they do. They open one group, and then they open our next group. And the first group was making stuff to cause the problem, and when they open the next group now, they'll be making stuff to fix the problem that the first one caused. When both of them really working towards the same agenda. You understand? And this is something that was actually passed by the FDA for the people to actually use.
Of opioid prescriptions and related deaths. Doctors and researchers there describe a plight that now stretches from coast to coast, calling it a nightmare scenario.
We were just pumping this stuff out into our local community, thinking that that had no consequences. And now, of course, we realise that it does have huge consequences.
Now,
and this is not just for this opioid thing they're talking about. Majority of prescription medication is the same thing. It has serious side effects. Even when you read, even when you watch commercials and they talk about thing and where's our next one? There's a popular one. It have Lipitor. It have all kind of different ones for all kind of different medications that they have out here. I can't think of one right now, like real popular ones. But when you watch the commercials for them, what do they talk about? Side effects may include dizziness, vomiting. You understand? These things doesn't have good effects on your body. And the wicked thing about it is that Esau knows about the herbs of the earth. Esau knows about things that they could give you to actually fix you or make you better. But they won't use that. Why? Because if you become better, there's no profit in it. You understand? Like I had a brother who used to say, a brother who would say, when your child go by the dentist and they fix the teeth, but the dentist just get them a lollipop. But isn't sweets and lollipops the main cause of why they come by dentists in the first place? But they'll give them that. Why? Because the dentist want them to come back. Because if nothing is wrong with you, dentists can't make money. That's the same thing. That's how business does work. If doctors have no patients, how would doctors have money? And that is what Esau focusing on. They're not focusing on the well-being of the people. They're focusing on making a dollar. I'll read the scripture. So the Ecclesiasticus 38. Ecclesiasticus 38, I'll start from 2, right? To say, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. It said, the skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be admiration. He shall be in admiration, right? It said the Lord had created medicine out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. And Esau abhorred him the medicine of the earth, at least to us, because these elites, they don't use Lipitor and all these different medication that they just create for us to use. They just use herbs. They just use things that is actually heal your body. When they're drinking wine, they don't drink this cheap wine that they put all kind of nonsense in. They just drink pure wine that is actually help your body. They just only give this nonsense to us. They don't use it for themselves. You understand? They just do these things to us. Why? Because they want to leave us in a sick state. Like they say the pharmaceutical company and the food company, you know, they have the same agenda. The foods that they make, like for example, these vegetables and all these things that they're making with GMO that has caused cancer and all these other problems in people. You understand? The food company just try to make you sick, and then after you become sick, the pharmaceutical company just keep you sick. You understand? It's our agenda.
Opioid antidote on the market, the injectable naloxone, is generic and cheap, but Mundy Pharma's Naloxone comes as a prepackaged nasal spray, an easier and less threatening way to deal with an overdose. Here's Mundy Pharma's CEO on why the company is best suited for dealing with trying out different types of opioid antidotes. Take a listen.
I believe Mundy Pharma has a distinct and a unique advantage. We are privately held, nimble enough, agile enough, and in the last couple of years, we've carried out a number of experiments because I understand that there is not going to be one surefire hit as far as this is concerned. One will need to try a number of experiments. Some will stick, some will fall. The key would be the one that sticks. How quickly can you scale it up? And that's where I think Mundy Pharma has a leading advantage.
So Naloxone isn't sold here in the U.S., but it's far more expensive than the injectable naloxone sold here, running more than $50 a dose in some European countries. Now, critics say Naloxone's price is way too excessive, especially when naloxone products already exist and they're inexpensive. A spokesperson for Mundy Pharma declined to say how much Naloxone cost the company to manufacture or say how profitable it's been. But one fellow at Harvard Medical School says the Sackler-owned companies manufacturing naloxone have an ethical duty to make it widely available. And if they were trying to find a solution, they could use all the money that they made off opioids to distribute naloxone for free around the world.
Now, Farron, you mentioned the Sackler families, that they're the owners of Purdue Pharma, dealing with a number, as we know, a number of litigations happening around the country. Do we know the status of those cases?
So, Manila, as of September, Purdue Pharma reached an agreement for settling the U.S. opioid litigation with, get this, 24 states' attorney generals, along with officials from 5 U.S. territories in that settlement. Now, in it, it says the owners of the company, the Sackler family, will give all of its assets to a trust for the benefit of the American public. They'll give more than $10 billion to address the opioid crisis, and the company will file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy to implement the agreement.
Now we know through history, Esau don't keep the word. So that is just talk. That will keep going until eventually it dies out. They're not going to give up all their assets. They're not going to do that. We know that he's a traitor, Esau, from the beginning. Esau, even with back in the Maccabees, when you go back to the tribe of God, all the treaties that they make with them, and even the treaties that they just make today, they don't keep their word. As long as they have power to not do so, they don't do it. But this showing you how these people just on business. They're not studying to heal people. They're not studying to help anybody. They're just studying income. You understand? We are just like rats to these people. Because I believe when I checked last time, when they actually make a new drug, there's only tested on like 100 and something people, if so much. And depending on how it affects those people, they'll release it to the public. You understand? They'll pay off the FDA, and they'll release it to the public. As long as it's not too harmful, they'll release it. And then when it releases, that is when you'll start to see more harmful side effects coming out, because it's a larger amount of people, and it will affect different people in different ways. You understand? And that is when you see like all these different terrible side effects, and there's had to be recalling the drug and so forth. It had a recall of some drug just the other day. I forgot the name of it. Why? Because it was having too many harmful side effects. And Esau knows that he could just use herbs to fix these things, because they have knowledge of these things, but they don't want to do that. Why? Because there's no money in healing anybody. When people remain sick, that is when they have to pay to get better or to stay alive. You understand? Anyway, I hope this was edifying. With that, I'd like to say shalom. Alright, Kahalayim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Makakodash.